All right. Well, I think I'll just go ahead and get started, and then anyone that jumps on late, they can watch the recording of it. So I thank you very much for being here. I do appreciate it. I know it's Friday morning or afternoon, depending on where you are at. So I do appreciate you being here. What I'll do is I have a few slides to go through and just talk about the final steps in the certification process, and then I'll leave it open for questions for you folks, so that if there's any questions you have about the course and any of the modules and any of the final assignments, you can ask those. So, all right. So let me. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to switch my screen, and I just want to kind of talk about the some of the things in the final exam. But before I do that, let me talk about Module 9. Is anyone here at that point at Module 9 or completed Module 9? Is once you do, that is when I will put you into a group. So as you're going through the course, you're going to complete the homework assignments, and once you complete modules 1 through 8, it'll open up Module 9, which is our final learning module, and it talks about building that 12-week Spartan SGX program. So it pulls all of the other modules together and talks about how to build that SGX program, right? And then once you complete Module 9 and you've learned that material, that's when I'll put you into a group with other people to actually work together and build that 12-week program, right? If you get to that module, sometimes, you might be there ahead of other people, and I don't have anyone to group you with, which which is okay. You can from that point you've learned all of the content. So you while you're waiting for me to put you into a group, you can jump in and you can start taking the exam. Okay, you can start working on the exam while you're waiting. Also, it's possible that if you prefer to and you just want to go ahead and work on it on your own, you can do that as well. Just let me know so that I don't later on accidentally put you into another group with somebody. So that's okay. Uh, but if you get there and you want to wait to be put into a group, sometimes it might take 3 or 4 days before someone else to catch up to you and be put into that group. So anyway, just be aware of that. Right, and then once you've done and completed that 12-week program, take one of the workouts from that 12-week program, and you're going to record a video of you coaching either your friends, your clients, your coworkers, you coaching them, taking them through that workout. All right, great. I see your message there. Perfect. Um, all right, so I'm going to switch my screen and let me get to the final exam module. All right, can you just let me know that I'm sharing the final module? It says online August 2017 test and search. Just let me know if you're seeing that. All right, hold on. Yeah, no, I apologize. I don't know why I can't share my screen, so I'm just going to have to not share my screen and just talk through it. So, um, just bear with me a second. All right. Well, once you get into that final module, the final exam, there's a few things that are there besides just the exam. Number one, you'll see that there is another copy of the license agreement. We think that it's that important. We have it at the beginning of the course, we have it at the end of the course, and once you get certified, again, you'll get sent that license agreement, and then once you go onto the coach finder, which I'll talk about in a minute, again, you'll have to agree to that license agreement. So basically, the license agreement just says how you can and can't use the Spartan and the Spartan SGX name and the Spartan SGX logo. So you should read through that very carefully and make sure that if you have any questions about it, that you reach out to us so that we can answer them. Spartan's pretty protective about their brand and who uses it and how it's used. And also to that note, that if you know of people that aren't certified Spartan SGX coaches that are using Spartan branding or Spartan SGX branding, and they're doing it inappropriately, you should reach out to us, let us know, send us a screenshot, a copy of their brochure or whatever, send it to us so that we can reach out to them and let them know that they're, infringing on the branding of Spartan and get it squared away. So you should feel free to do that. The only way we know about things like that is, we count on our coaches, kind of being our watchdogs for us. Okay, so the first thing is that license agreement. Next is there's a download area for you to upload your copy of your personal training, your group exercise, your exercise science degree. That prerequisite that shows that you have the prerequisite. So either a copy of your personal training, group exercise certification. If you have a degree in exercise science, then upload a copy of that. If you don't have any of those and you're taking track 2, which is taking the foundations exam, if you've taken that and passed that, then just upload a note stating that you've passed that exam, and then when it comes time for me to process your certification, I'll just double check it and make sure everything is good to go. Okay, and then the next upload is your CPR certification. So that's not for our international coaches. If you're not familiar with that, it's cardiopulmonary resuscitation certification. Here in the U.S., to be a trainer, most facilities would require that you have that certification in case of an emergency. So you'll have to upload a copy of that. And then is the exam. The exam, is 75 questions, 100 points. You need a score of 75 in order to be able to pass. Okay. So there's a few questions there that are worth 2 points. Most of those are coming from the 7 pillars. You should note that it's not an easy test to pass, although quite a few people have passed on the first attempt. It might take 2 or 3 for you to pass it. Okay, so if you've completed the workbook and you use that as your study guide, I don't think you'll have a problem passing the test. And if you get to the end and you've made 5 attempts and you still haven't passed it yet, you can reach out to me and I'll look through your exam and I might give you some feedback to help you out so that you could pass it. Okay. Just one more note on the exam. I think most people that don't pass it is because they bring in other information into the exam. So remember, the exam it's based off of the SGX. It's based off of what you learned in these modules. So if you've taken like a CrossFit course, or if you've taken some other nutrition course, or maybe some other sports performance course, and you're applying that information, sometimes there's subtle differences between, these different certifications. And if you're trying to apply other information, it might not, really fit to what Spartan SGX is, and because of that, you might get the answer wrong. So anyway, first thing, just make sure that you think of the questions in terms of what you learned in Spartan SGX, not what you may have read on the web, not what you may have read through other books, just in terms of SGX. Right? And then secondly, don't overthink them. Okay? Sometimes people get to a question and they try to apply a certain scenario to it. They're like, oh, well, if it was this situation, the answer could be this, and if it was that situation, the answer could be that. Don't do that. Just think of them in terms of strictly of what is being asked. Don't try to apply a specific scenario to it. Okay? All right. So once you've submitted your prerequisites, completed the exam, passed the exam, done the 12-week program, submitted your video, once everything's been submitted, it'll take us a couple of weeks to process everything, okay? Usually it's a little bit sooner than that, but at the longest, it will be 2 weeks. So if you've finished everything and it's been longer than 2 weeks and you haven't received an email from us, then feel free to give me a poke. Maybe something slipped through the cracks and we'll get you squared away. But you should, before the 2 weeks, you should receive an email from us, and in that email, it'll include your certification that states that you're a certified Spartan SGX coach. Also, in that email, again, you'll find that license agreement. Also, there will be a link to the Coach Finder so that you can now upload your information into the Coach Finder so that people in your area can find you when they want to get ready for a race. Okay, so what that is basically you click on the link, it'll open up a form, right, and you'll fill out your contact information. Now, you want to make sure that you fill that out accurately, because as soon as you're done and you hit submit, that information is pretty much going to be automatically uploaded into the Coach Finder, right? So if you have an error in it, that you made some type of mistake, there's a typo, your phone number's not right, any of that, if you can change it, but you won't be able to immediately go back and fix it yourself. You'll have to send a message to our customer support. They'll send the information to the web team, and then the web team will put it in the queue, and they'll get to it, when they get to it, basically, which could be another couple of weeks. So again, just make sure that when you put the information in, that you put it in correctly the first time. Double check it, triple check it. Have somebody else check it for you. just so that when it's uploaded, it's accurate right from the get-go. If you do need to make a change to it, like I said, email our customer support team, and there is an email at the end of this presentation, but I'll just type it into the chat window here that, if you have any questions about like the coach finder or, you need assistance with, or let's say you have a competitor that's using the Spartan name and you want to let us know about that. All that information should be sent to sgx@spartan.com. Okay. Also, you'll get some discounts to races for you to use and for your clients to use. So this is only for U.S. races, so we don't have it available to our international coaches yet, but we're working towards that with our licensees, but we don't have that yet, but we will soon. But you'll get a discount for you to share with your clients. You'll have a discount for you to use for yourself. It's 15% off. Spartan does some, like, I think they have a promotion going right now where it's been 25% off. So sometimes Spartan does promotions that are even better than the discounts that you have. But the good thing is that the discount code that you'll be issued will be good, throughout the year, right? Not just for a limited period of time. Right. Also, we have what we call an open house at some of the events. And what that is the day before the event, they open up the course to people to kind of come through and, jump on some of the obstacles and practice on some of the obstacles. And so what we look for is our coaches to come and help us with that so that they could be on site, they could be at an obstacle and help teach and coach athletes on how to perform the obstacle. So it's a great way for you to, be able to get in front of, a few hundred people and kind of promote your services and promote your coaching ability. Your certification does have an expiration date. So, you'll be certified through the end of 2018. But at that point, there is a renewal fee. So every year you have to renew your certification, and that's a $95 fee. And what that'll do, that makes sure that you stay on the Coach Finder. You'll get, fresh codes to use for discounts. It'll allow you to continue to participate in the open houses and any other events that we have going on. Right? So that renewal fee is $95. Right? And you also have to show that you've continued your education. And so what that means is that you've done other learning outside of SGX. So every 2 years you have to show that you've done 16 hours of continuing education. So that means that you've either attended another conference, some other type of workshop, maybe you've done some type of self-study, some learning on your own, 16 hours of it over the course of 2 years. It's not a lot. If you're certified through NASM or ACE or ACSM or any other nationally recognized certification, you would have to maintain continuing education credits anyway. So those same credits that you would use for those organizations, you would be able to apply here. Okay. Also, I want to make mention that we do have like an insurance program for our coaches too. So if you go to our SGX website and under certification, there's a drop down that says insurance. And if you don't have insurance already, you should get it. And anytime you're working with people and they're paying you a fee, you're held to a higher standards. And so if you're working with people and someone gets hurt, they could hold you liable for those injuries, and the insurance will help protect you in those instances, right? Um, but what I want to mention though is that you want to make sure that the insurance policy covers you for the types of things that you do. So like the insurance policy that I have for myself, covers me for basic strength and conditioning types of activities. So if I was working with a client in the fitness center and I'm teaching them Olympic lifts or they're doing powerlifting or they're using the machine and they get hurt and they decide that they want to hold me accountable for it, that my insurance would back me up because it's for that specific purpose, right? But what it doesn't cover me for is if I built a wall traverse, or if I had a rope climb, or if I had a wall climb, it wouldn't cover me for those types of things, right? So what I'm saying is that you want to just make sure that whatever insurance policy you have covers you for the activities that you do. So if you're building obstacles in your gym, make sure that your insurance covers you for those obstacles. If you're taking your clients outdoors and you're bringing them through the woods or you're climbing mountains with them, you want to make sure that your insurance policy covers you for those things. You know, um, even though your clients might act like they're your best friends, they'll do that until they get hurt, and then they're missing work, and they have a number of bills that need to be paid because they've had to go to the hospital. They'll be your friend up until that point, and then when that happens, they'll be looking for some remuneration, and your best defense for that is really insurance. You can have them sign waivers and do all of the paperwork, but that doesn't prevent them from trying to sue you. Even if you're protected from those documents, they'll still try to sue you. And if you don't have insurance, you'll have to pay the legal bill yourself. So anyway, make sure you have insurance. Make sure that you have insurance for the types of things that you're doing. Okay, and then we also have an affiliate program. Okay, the affiliate program basically is on your website. If you have a link for people to register to the race, they if it goes through the special link of the affiliate program, you'll receive some compensation for it. So it's like a win-win for everybody because number one, you'll have a code that you'll be able to give your clients, so they'll save some money. They'll register through that link. You'll earn a commission off of that, and then Spartan's happy because you're sending people to the race, right? So when I send out my follow-up email tonight, in that email will be more information about the affiliate program and a link for you to sign up for it if you're interested. Right, and we have a number of Facebook uh, pages, but the one that I want to really draw your attention to is the one that's just for our workshop alumni. So it's a closed group. The only people we allow into it are people that have gone through the course, either live or online. And it's a great place for you to, if you have, questions about, how to run your class or pricing or you just you want to talk to some other coaches that have been doing it for a while. Great place to post for that. If you're doing something really cool and outstanding and you want to share it with all of our coaches, we're somewhere around 1,000 coaches right now, so you want to share it with them, post it there. When we're looking for people for the open house or we're looking for coaches for special events, we'll post inside of that Facebook page. So if you're on Facebook, just you will have to request permission to join. So just find us and request permission, and I'll let you in. And of course, I would be honored if you're on Facebook, if you friended me, so that we could. It's a great way for us to keep in contact. I post some information periodically, and it's just great to see what everyone's up to and what everyone's doing. Right, and then just a few other things. If you go to the Spartan Race webpage, they have a really, I mean, if you drill down into it beyond the race, there is just a ton of just good information there. You know, the podcasts, for example. You know, Joe DeSena traveling across the globe, meeting with these thought leaders, finding out what makes them tick and what makes them successful, and he interviews them. Just great stuff. So you should check those out. There's a number of blogs, and there's links to our old. We had used to have a Spartan Race magazine. So there's just all these articles and videos on how to do the obstacles. So just if you have some time to kill, you know, check it out a little bit more in depth, a little bit beyond the race, and I think you'll find a lot of information there. We have some other certifications, right? Some of you, I think, have already attended the obstacle specialist. We also have a Spartan SGX Level 2. I'm starting a class actually next week, and so I do the Level 2 about once a quarter, so about 4 times a year. So the next one we'll probably do one, in December. Maybe in January. But level 2 builds on level 1. Level 1, we're ripping people off of the couch and we're getting them to live the Spartan lifestyle. Level 2 is they've been living the lifestyle and now they want to increase their performance and they want to be better athletes. And so, I go into a lot of detail about, designing, running programs and building up cardiorespiratory endurance and how to use heart rate training zones. We have a talk that's specifically geared towards recovery. So we talk about using heart rate variability to monitor recovery. We talk about looking at blood biomarkers in terms of recovery. We have a talk on dietary supplements, some of the popular supplements that are used by athletes today. We talk about the science behind them, whether or not they're safe and whether ineffective. We have a talk that's specifically geared towards the ultra events, so like doing a hurricane heat, the ultra beast, the agogi. How do you train and prepare for some of those? So anyway, level 2 is more geared towards performance, and then there's Spartan X. That's kind of like a about finding your motivation, your true north. It's kind of like a self-help program for individuals. But if you took the course as a coach, you could apply those same principles that you learn in Spartan X with your clients to help get their mindset, right, so that they can, stay the course and stay motivated and reach their goals. So that might be worthwhile to check out too. All right, and then finally, I just have some contact information for Joe Di. He's in addition to working with SGX, he also is the head of sports, so he works with all the pro athletes. John Gausch, he's our vice president, so he oversees all of Spartan training. And then here's that Spartan SGX customer service. So once you're certified and you have a problem with like the race codes or something like that, you can reach out to them. And of course, you have my email, so that if you need anything, that you think that there's anything that I can help you with, of course, reach out to me, and I'll see what I can do. If I can't help you directly, I'll be able to find the person that can. So even though today is our wrap up, it doesn't mean that I go away. I'm here with you right through to the end to make sure that you get certified. So just keep that in the back of your mind that I'm here, I'm available. I want to make sure that you get certified. And even after you're certified and you're one of our coaches, as long as you stay on as one of our coaches, I'm here as a resource for you to help you out. So if you think that you have a question about training or getting people ready for the races or anything Spartan SGX, feel free to reach out to me and let me see how I can help you. Okay. All right, so I think that pretty much covers everything that I wanted to cover. Do you guys have any questions for me? All right, so Lara, yeah, so the foundation exam, if you need to take that, you'll have to register for it. If you what I'll send you the link for it, Lara. It's in the web page, and it's not easy to find. I think in your registration email there may have been a link to that, but I'll send you an email later on directly with the link for the foundation exam. Yeah, so it's under, if you go to Spartan SGX, and then if you go under certification, if you scroll down, it's under the certification process. Um, and so let me just, I'm just going to grab the link now. Yeah, there is, Laura. There's a list under, again, on the same page, certification. There's a frequently asked question section. Uh, I would have to agree that our website is not easy to navigate, and I think sometime in the next couple of months we'll have something updated so that it's a little bit easier to navigate. But if you go into FAQs, you'll find some more specifics there. But pretty flexible on what we accept. Laura, if you're going to pursue a personal training certification, let me know which one it is, and I'll let you know if it's approved. But um, we're most of them are. So even if they're not on that list, we accept a lot of them that aren't listed there. Or I accept a lot of them that aren't listed there. Any other questions? No, I wish I was. I registered for the Ultra Beast, but I've been in I live in Massachusetts full time, but in the summer I'm in Colorado, and this fall I'm actually on sabbatical from the university because I'm writing a book, and so I decided to stay out in Colorado and and write my book out there. There is, Laura, but the information that we want to make sure that you know is we don't require people to have a 4 year degree. We just want to thing I want to make sure that people have is that they understand um, how to stratify people, how to understand health risks, and how those health risks affect people's response to exercise. So I don't think you necessarily have to have a NASM certification. An online course for $70, if somebody puts in the effort, you can actually learn a lot from it. Um, just because they're not accredited doesn't mean that they don't have the right information, but it could be a good start for somebody. But again, it does depend on the course. Yeah, not in the future, but I hope to. The one event that I will be at for sure this year is going to be at the World Championship Ultra event that they're going to host in Iceland. So I'm going to be there for that. So if anyone's attending that, it'd be great to catch up with some of you. All right. Well, thanks everyone for being here. I really do appreciate it. Um, I will send out a follow up email tonight after I do uh, the second wrap up webinar. And of course, if you have questions as you continue along with the course, feel free to reach out to me. And yeah, I look forward to seeing your work and eventually sending you your Spartan SGX certification. Everyone have a great rest of the day and a great weekend.